Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel for another pretty big Lego build. Today we'll be adding the assembly square to my Lego city. This is not necessarily an older modular building, but it was retired in December of this previous year, and luckily Amazon still had a couple in stock, and I recently just did all of my huge mills upgrade and been working on a sidewalk, and there happened to be a base plate and a half open right in my backdrop, and that irritates me. And that gave me an excuse that I wanted to fill those, obviously. And I was gonna do a single base plate and then use one of the like either the bookshop, or in this case it would be the extension of the pet shop, which is like the little house or apartment building, row home, whatever you'd like to call it, which is on a half bait mills plate, and then just buy something easy. However, this was not going to be available much longer, and honestly, I bought this a couple days ago. Just, wanted to get it in home. Wanted to finish up some of my mills plating and then start this immediately after. This will also be the very first Lego that I've ever built on a mills plate. So you're going to see it a little bit. I'm going to be kind of customizing this as I go, but if you're wondering how on earth I start my build with a giant base plate and a half already connected and built, that is why. Excuse me. It went from like 68 yesterday here to 20 last night, so I'm sure everybody in Pennsylvania is feeling great this morning. But yeah, so essentially this is a base plate and a half wide, and ironically, I just had a feeling. I'm like, you know what? I better get this before it retires. Just, you never know when that spike in price is going to hit, and I wanted to get it done with. This sold out on Amazon, like through Amazon directly, the day I bought it. Like, I don't know if this was the last one. They might get more. I don't know how their inventory is going to work for this, but I checked right before this video. Amazon had none. It was all third-party sellers, and they were all more than a traditional $300 price tag for this. So base plate and a half, $300. Until the Natural History Museum, I believe this was actually the largest. That is also a base plate and a half, and by far and away one of my favorite additions I've ever made to the city. This was a very close second in terms of the size. You do have 3 buildings, which is pretty cool, as well as a walkway. I'm not going to be hyperlapse building this too much, and the reason I say that is this has the very annoying habit of bag 1 is actually 10 bags and like 1,000 pieces. I'm not going to sort them. It's just not how I build. They're all going to be dumped on a desk, and I'm not going to have you guys watch me piece through 1,000 little pieces for that 1x1 in black with a clip that I cannot find. So I might just do here and there a little bit of hyperlapse. Like, I'll probably do the first bag, and then I'll show kind of probably the before and after of like the dark gray sidewalk that comes with this. And then midway through this, I'm probably going to rip those out, put all of the light gray tile in, that's going to match the rest of my city, and do some custom work on it right away. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to start this. It looks pretty cool. I'm very excited. There's a lot of stuff mixed in with this. And I don't even know all of the little details in the tops of these buildings, so it's going to be pretty cool. As you can see, it's a little over, just over 4,000 pieces with a good crew of minifigures. You can always tell it's an older set because they have that like plain face with a smile and a yellow, like a bright yellow head. Honestly, I kind of have them here. You can always tell, like, the facial expressions, how they've changed over the years, and the different details and like the tones and all that good stuff. But yeah, if you're interested in checking out mills plating and what that is, I just did a video on it very, very recently. I think that was actually probably the last video I've done before this for Lego. But it's a really good time for the Lego City. It's growing very, very fast. I'm doing a lot of custom work for it coming up, so that's going to be pretty exciting. I have some cool stuff in the works, including my first kind of collaboration, so that's going to be pretty neat to unveil on this channel. I've also got light kits coming, so I'm going to be lighting up some of these buildings. I want to see if that's a route I want to go down, see if they're not going to be an absolute pain on my side to try and put on. I got one from Bricks Max for the bookshop, and then I got one from Light My Bricks which I've heard is generally like the best brand, but they are considerably more expensive than most of them. So I got one of the cheaper ones for the pet shop in the extension building to try. So I'll be working on that stuff very shortly. So yeah, leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you can. Share the video if you'd like to. It helps me out a lot. The channel's been doing great recently, and we're getting a lot more Lego traffic in the past couple months. So it's been really, really great to hear. So thank you guys so much for joining me for another build, and let's get started with this one, folks. Alright everybody, so this is obviously going to look a little bit different than when I left off with the actual build. Essentially, I made this entire sidewalk, the color and pattern, ready to match the rest of the new modulars. So basically I tore out all of the dark gray and even the light bluish gray trim. I did leave these black pieces in there. My modulars in the sidewalk actually don't have those. I'm gonna see if this looks a little bit nicer. If not, I'll just tear them out eventually. Left a couple little jumpers here for the actual ventage or drainage, not ventage. So what I decided to end up doing, I wanted to leave the trim. So I left this dark gray trim around the outside. The only spot I can't get perfect is right here. I don't know what I want to do with that. Like, there's kind of not much I can do. I debated replacing all the light gray here with this dark gray and just closing it in. But I do kind of like that it extends a little bit and adds a little bit of pop of color. But I'll keep that in open mind. Retrimmed all this, left all this trim. And then up here, I did change a little bit. These, I used longer pieces and only a 1x2 instead of the 1x4. In here, the colors are going to change. I want to do dark tan and dark blue, most likely. I just don't have the exact amount for those, so I'm actually not going to bother today. I'm kind of trying to look ahead in the instructions, and it turns out that that's like the little seating area right over here for the bistro. So I'm going to try and change that up in the future. But yeah, just wanted to go over the updates done, obviously alongside everything, just because, you know, you're going to tune back into this build in a couple seconds, and it's going to be like, wait a minute, that was all dark, now it's all light. I just wanted to show you guys, and you know what, it's really exciting. Like, this is the first set I've really heavily customized before I'm finished building it, which is pretty cool. So very excited. It's a nice growing feature in the channel. But yeah, anyways, just wanted to show you guys this. Now back to the build, everybody. Alright everybody, so here's the final build. Overall, I absolutely love it. This thing looks incredible. Fits perfect, looks great. This building here actually really does look perfect right next to the pet shop, which probably isn't going to stay in that direction, but for now it at least looks pretty fantastic. Again, I did go through and switch out all of these tiles, a couple of which are popped up just because I was moving it to and from the city, and I think I have like a slightly loose panel in here. But yeah, I think it's great. I love it. By far and away one of my favorite sets that I've ever built. And I think it looks awesome. That being said, I do have a couple small things that I still want to change. I'm going to go through and actually add some more of these stud tiles off camera, just as I'm adding some minifigures and adding some details. I'm going to rip up the tiling under here and actually replace it with this coloration. As of saying this, my Bricklink order is out for delivery, so hopefully I have enough pieces to do all of this, because I accounted for this patio space and not the front one, which is completely my bad. So that's why you got to be careful when you order stuff mid-set. But as for the minifigures, this obviously doesn't count, but this is the baby stroller, of course, for the little tyke at the front here. Pretty cool little design here. I like it a lot. I think that's neat. Then we have the dentist. I didn't even know there was a dentist office in this set. It's right here. No idea. Very cool minifigure, and I think this is the only form of a dentist office that's been made. If there's been another one, I have no idea what it is, because I didn't even know this one existed. Then we have a barista for the coffee shop, which might be my favorite building here. I'm not sure. I do, listen, I love me some coffee. I woke up and we have no creamer, so I'm waiting on a plumber to show up to help us fix a kitchen sink issue. So I can't go anywhere. So I decided to do this video on no coffee. It is an unfortunate morning because I decided to play Helldivers 2 till 4, and it's like 7:30. So it's been an unfortunate day so far. Here we have a pastry chef for the little bakery off to the side here. Again, most of these minifigures are going to be relatively basic. This is an older set. So they didn't have like multiple faces, and not everything's the most detailed with the minifigures. Here we have the music shop rep, which is right up here. Again, didn't know that was there. I love this purple. The purple looks really nice, of course, going with the flower shop here. Another thing I did not expect, we have a photography studio in here, and you know, obviously I could have looked this stuff up, but it is nice when you build some of these modular things and have no idea where you're going to be like building inside of it. I always think that's pretty fun, and here we are. Like I didn't expect half of this stuff, and overall I'm really happy with everything that was fit in. Then we have a little dancer here, which again, right up here, another little surprise was a little dance or a ballerina studio, which was pretty cool. Also features a mirror up there, which is very cool. Not something that you see every day. And then a mother and her little child. I think that's actually my first baby minifigure as well. And then the top level of these two are a giant apartment. So that is where she generally fits into this equation. As for the actual base level, like I said at the beginning, and I showed you midway through, this is going to be the Mills plate. This is the full 32 by 32. This one, excuse me, is a little 16 by 32. I don't know if I want to leave these little black 2x2 risers for the lamppost yet. I don't have them in the rest of my city, and I'm kind of going to leave them like this. Put them next to the ones that I don't have them on and just kind of see, because like I'm not sure if I really want to keep them or not, because I kind of like when they're indented, but I'm honestly not too sure, so I'll have to think about that for the most part. First impressions, obviously, yeah, it looks beautiful. It's a huge set. I love it. This actually does have more pieces than a Daily Bugle as well, so this takes that crowning spot as third biggest set in my city, which I absolutely love. We have a couple patio seats, little dogs sitting out here as well. Again, I'm going to rip up all this tiling and make it the dark gray with the dark tan and dark blue mixed throughout, just to actually make it a scene. I started it on this side. I just don't have the actual dark tan and blue to go through, and I decided to at least do the outline so I would know what I'm doing for later. We of course have the coffee shop here, which this logo did not go well for me. I don't know what it is. I think one of my pieces in here is just slightly off, and I didn't realize it until, yeah, I got pretty deep in. So for now, it's crooked. It just, I mean, I'm honestly fine with it. I think it looks kind of cool. You can kind of see it like overhanging the doorway, and I think that's pretty neat. Then, of course, you can see the flower shop, and right up here, the half-closed curtains for the photography studio is a very cool addition. Bakery, apartment, and the dentist office. Of course, we're going to take a better look at all of this. I just wanted to go from the side. And then right in here, we actually do have a little walkway, which is going to be tough for me. I don't really have something behind it that's going to be good for a walkway. So for now, it's just kind of going to be a cool detail. And I almost forgot, probably my favorite tile pattern I've ever done on this. I left this dark gray, did the white, left the white trim. Essentially, all I really did was rip everything apart and leave the dark gray tile, which I talked about a little bit in the middle of the video, but that fountain looks fantastic. And then as for the back of this, you can see a really cool glass doorway, some windows, and then here's that little trellis and walkway in the back door here. Some really cool green and clear translucent bricks for the flower shop with another cool window, and then plenty of doors, a couple balconies, some really cool staircases, little feature for the oven, some trash. The only thing on this entire set that I don't like is the fact that it's open in the back. I don't like it. That's definitely something I hope that there's something for. Like, yeah, it can be an outdoor area, I guess, but the outdoor kitchen, I don't know. It just isn't my favorite thing. And I would like to maybe build a roof for this, like do a little doorway. It'll be tough in that space just because there isn't a lot of allotted space for like a door or anything like that, but I definitely think I would like to enclose this at one point just because I'm not a big fan in the least of the open concept, but I do understand like every set's got to be a little bit different. But yeah, so that is the overall general view of the assembly square. Now let's take a look at it floor by floor. Alright everybody, so here is the final look at the resting spot for now for the assembly square. That building actually looks perfect next to Grimald Place. Obviously Grimald Place is a little bit out of sorts there, but it is just kind of a placeholder for now. And that pet shop looks, again, great next to that assembly square piece. Right in here, ignore all those random bags of pieces. That is part of my last bricklaying order. I replaced some of these tiles with those 2x4s so they can actually hold in to each other, and then they're also anchored in through Technic pieces, but I don't like the gaps. For instance, I left this kind of to show that off. There's a little bit of gap in between, just because of how this table has warped, or and not even warped, it's just a little crooked if we're being honest. But yeah, so that is the actual look at the city for now. If you don't think that this drives me insane, having these open pieces right here, it does, and trust me, I want to finish that up so bad. And then, of course, we have tons of open space still going on here. Excitingly enough, I will say, my next project is going to be adding lights to quite a few of these buildings to see, hopefully, if I would like to light up the rest of this city one day. But yeah, that's just going to about do it for this build, folks. Thank you guys so much. Let me know of any modular buildings that you see me do next, or any cool minifigures that can add to this slightly empty but beautiful space that I definitely want to customize a little bit as I go. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Happy building, everybody. Alright, and here's a closer look at the actual ground level shop. So, of course, going first, we have this amazing coffee shop here. You have the little espresso maker inside, which absolutely looks awesome. Got a lot of pastries. It looks like a pie of some sort. Really cool printed tile as well. I love that. The little tiling on the actual back half of this looks awesome. And of course, that really cool staircase going up from the back here. Some flowers, I'd like to believe, from the flower shop next door. Some really nice seating. Overall, nothing in this set is going to be like huge just because they fit a lot in one set, but it still looks fantastic nonetheless. Then we have the flower shop, probably the most colorful one of the crew by far. You have these little flower bouquets in the back that I kept knocking down about 100 times. You have a macaw randomly placed in there for some apparent reason, and just flowers basically spread throughout the entire area. It looks fantastic. Then we have the bakery. Got some pastries, and cool enough, there is a wedding cake on the outside with a little bride and groom. Now this window, and in specific, this window, oh, they were patience testers. They're cool, but oh, are they annoying to get in there. And then, of course, all these little pastries going up top. I would down that cheesecake right now if I could. And we got some pastries in the actual little display case here as well. But yep, that's a better look at the ground floor. I think it looks fantastic, and I absolutely love it. Now let's take a better look at the rest of the floors. Alright, and here's a better look at the floor, the second floor, I should say. Here we have another music store, which ironically makes the second music store in my LEGO City, next to Holly Jolly's music store from the Winter Village. I now have more music stores than I do have pizza shops in the city. A little ashamed by that one. A couple really cool guitars on the side, really cool drum set, and then a small saxophone. It would be cool. I can definitely decorate this up a bit. It'd be nice if there was like a flyer for the jazz club somewhere. I think that'd be a really cool addition when I actually get the jazz club one of these rounds. Here we have the photography studio. Very cool white backdrop there. It looks like the cloth hanging down. It's really neat. Really cool camera in the center. Some film canisters on the side. Really nice professional looking photographer or a photograph on the side. And like I said earlier, the blinds are actually down to give it a darker vibe, which is really cool. And then over here, neatly enough, we have a dentist office. We got the little mouth rinsers. We have the actual table, some storage on the side, a really cool picture of a boat, and reception area, which is very, very cool. Inside the actual little container here, cool enough, we have the greatest hero ever, of course, because that's one that just keeps popping up everywhere. And I love Heart Lake City. I don't know when Friends became a thing. Maybe my lore is down, but I did not know Heart Lake City was a thing beforehand. And then a very cool printed tile on the side. As for the third and final floor, we already did talk about the outdoor kitchen, but I'll touch on that a little bit more now that we're actually going through. There's a mirror in this dance studio, which is just so cool. I did not know LEGO had mirrors like that. That is fantastic. We got a really cool piano, and that's about it. A little railing for the actual ballerina on the side. There's not too much going on there. I want to see if there's a lot more dancing minifigures in the future, because I think that'd be a really cool addition there. And then right over here, we have the first stage of the apartment. Look at that little train. I love it. I love the little train detail. I think that looks so cool. We've got a really nice kitchen, a microwave, some pantry space. Definitely didn't put a picture of a bridge upside down or anything. That's definitely not what I did. And then a really cool recliner chair, which actually does come in and out. It actually reclines. And you know what? My fingers are not the best to actually do this. It can go in and out as like a sofa bed, and you can actually push it back up too. It's so cool. I love it. I love that little addition. And it doesn't work very well, but it's so cool. Oh, and I also did forget, for the flower shop building here, I love that the top is Mjolnir. Like, these are all castle hammers and Mjolnir going across. I think that's a really cool detail. And then as for the back, there's the open kitchen. Like I said, it's a really cool kitchen. It's just not my favorite thing to just kind of be sitting in the city. So like from the aerial view of the city, it's a little bit odd, but you know, it is what it is. And then for the apartment, we got a little toilet and a little bathroom in here. One really cool thing, and it keeps falling out just because of where it sits, is this really cool modular set that's just kind of sitting in there for them to build, which, lucky family, that's quite a few grand nowadays if you're going to get the cafe at corner. The only other thing is, of course, the two roof pieces, which very cool designs on both of them. This uses a lot of those curved arches with some crown molding on it, and then the skylight little access point. This guy here, we have the chicken statue, which is very, very cool. Some really nice tile work going around the entire outside, and it looks fantastic. But yeah, that's just gonna about do it for another LEGO build, folks. Now let's add this to the city, and let's finish this project up.